Okay, just wiggle in there. You can even kind of come a little bit towards the front of your bolster and just let your hips sort of slide down a little. Using yoga blocks is a nice idea under the knees if you want them. And then let the hands land, let them connect, and let that connection of the hands to the thighs lift up your heart. Go ahead, close your eyes. Just going to take 1 minute here just to connect the breathing and the body and the mind together. And just watching the breath, not doing anything to it. Just slowing us down. And then bring your attention to your body and just notice that connection of the hips to your pillow. And go ahead and open up your eyes, arms out to the side. Big inhale to reach your arms up. And an exhale, side bend to the left. Try to keep both your arms straight. Try to keep your right hip anchored to the prop. Couple of breaths. Bending your right arm so your hand lands behind your head and your head is just cupped by your hand. And then look up towards your right elbow. And let your hand kind of help turn your head to do that. And then we're going to look down to the left knee and let your whole upper body come into the twist. It's not just your head turning, it's your whole body. Your right arm is coming along for the ride. And 2 more. Inhale, lift up the elbow, look up at that right elbow. Exhale, turn to look towards the left knee. Bring the whole body with you, upper body. Once more, looking upwards. And once more, looking down. And then take your gaze back up again, and then take that right arm straight again, out, up, reaching up. Bend your left elbow and push yourself up to straight, and both arms are coming up. Inhale here, exhale, twisting from your navel to the left. Keep your arms up, it's a small little twist. Trying to keep the hips as stable as possible. So we don't want a big, giant twist here. And then the arms out shoulder height. And then the arms land anywhere you want. Just a gentle twist to begin. Inhale to reach both your arms back up, facing center. Exhale, side bend to your right, trying to keep both the arms pretty straight. Anchor through that left hip. And even more, even though it's touching the prop, can you feel as though you can push it down a little bit more so we can get that side and nice stretch. Bend your left elbow, put the hand, cup it behind your head, and then turn your head to look up at your elbow. And then your whole upper body is going to turn to look towards your right knee. The elbow is coming along. Inhale to look back up again. Exhale to look down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, last time to look up, and then stretch the left arm straight again. And then bend your right elbow and push into your right hand to lift yourself all the way up, both arms up. Exhale, twist a little bit to your right side, from the navel upwards. And then arms to shoulder height. And then arms relax into the twist, gently, gentle twist. And release yourself from the twist, looking forward. Just move your things off to the side. Get the pillow out of the way. Crisscross your ankles the other way. And hands to the hips. And we're just going to rock the hips. So forget about what's happening with the spine. It's going to go along for the ride, but it's just going to be a very small rocking. So let your hips go backwards. And then forward. And then back, forward, back, forward. Now next time, see if you can bring your right hip back first. Kind of just sort of lean to the right a little bit. Take that right hip back a bit. And then bring it forward. And then see if you can bring the left side of the hip back first. It's kind of going to put you in a bit of a twist. And forward, and then straight back again, and forward, and then upright. And then with your hand, the palm of your hand, the heel of your hand will go right up at the end of your hip crest, and your fingers are pointing down at your tailbone. So try to connect your middle finger to your tailbone, wherever that happens to be. So just that length of the hand, we're going to be rocking on our sacrum. Okay, so think about having 4 points on your sacrum. All right, but we're not there yet. Sorry. Now we're going to do some lateral rocking. We're just going to lift up the left hip so your sitting bone comes right off the floor, and then you're going to put it back down. Let it land before you lift the other side up and down. We'll do 2 more on either side, and we're just observing to see how are our hips doing, and just using one side of the pelvis and then the other, just kind of checking in. All right, and from there, swing your left leg backwards. So we're into the 90-90 kind of position, shin box position. Hands behind you. Lift your knees up and then switch to the other side. As you go to the other side, notice how your right hip moves forward as it comes up. And now as we go back, pull your right hip back where it began, kind of like reaching back with the right hip. Notice how that left hip comes forward. And then pull the left hip back to where you began and do that again. So purposely reaching back through that hip to go over to the other side. And reaching back to flip the knees. And then we'll do 1 more on the side, wherever you happen to be. Stay there. Face your front shin. Hands to anywhere on the floor. And then just push your shin, your entire legs down. Push both of those legs down. Just keep pushing. We're just strengthening the muscles around the hips. So another great thing for stability in the hips is strengthening the legs and the muscles that surround the hips. And then relax, and then we'll go to the other side, nice and slowly. And then once you get there, just push both your legs into the ground like you're trying to make an imprint in the sand, and keep pushing. And relax. And then come back to a cross-legged position. And now we're going to imagine that the bottom of the pelvis is like a diamond. And the pubic bone is at the top, and then the sitting bones are out at the side, and then the tailbone is at the bottom of the diamond. And we're just going to do some Sufi rolls there. So roll towards the front, the pelvis, the pubic bone, go to the right, go to the tail, go to the left, and do 2 more like that. Finding those 4 points. And then let's go 3 the opposite way. And just see if, one side moves a little differently than the other. All right, coming back upright again. Okay, so now remember that palms width of the sacrum. Put your feet on the floor, we're coming down. Come onto your elbows, come onto your head. And we're just going to, same when we were rocking the pelvis forward and back, same idea, but you're only thinking about that very small little part, the sacrum. So first off, just press the top of your sacrum to the ground and imagine that there's 4 little dots and you're going down towards the direction of your feet to bring your tail towards the ground. And then coming back, dot, 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 top of the sacrum. And then same when you're tilting forward. And just a couple more like that. Just very deliberately only working the hip area. And then relax. This next movement, I'm just going to come up to the camera. So with you lying on your back, you're going to be shifting your hips like you're taking one sitting bone and you're moving it towards your heel, and then the other one like that, kind of like that sassy hip thing. Doesn't matter what side you start with. Start to lift up one hip as the other one goes down. And you're trying not to twist your hips. It's as though your hips are flat on the ground and the movement is coming just side to side. And just do a couple more like that. And then stop in the center and just breathe there for a moment. Now the next one, come up onto your elbows. I think it's a little easier to see this way. Drop your left leg out to the side. You're going to try and keep your hips pretty stable. There's going to be a bit of movement, but it's mostly coming at that crease where the leg and the hip meet. And then bring that leg back up. And you might have to shimmy your left foot. You're going to drop your left knee towards your right ankle. And then bring it back up again. You might shimmy your foot. You're going to drop the leg out to the side. Bring it back up and then drop it inside. And have a look at your hips and see what's going on. One more round. There's going to be a little bit of movement, but you're controlling it. And then back up again, and we'll do the other side. Right leg drops out. Bring it back up. Right knee drops in and up, dropping out and up and in and up. One last round out. And just notice if one side feels different. And back up again. Okay. Come on up. So now this next one, we're going to prepare with our strap and one block, and you're going to weave it so that it's going to go around the middle of your thighs, so in between your knees and your hips, and you're going to cinch it nice and snug. So knees together, feet together. And this little movement here, these next few bits, this is what like really gave me a lot of relief in my crooked hips. So come on down to your back again. And with the knees snugly together, you're going to push out on the belt only to about 20% that you know you can do. So don't like make it a big, huge move. It's just enough to activate the muscles. Push your big toes down and then inhale, start to push your legs out only to about 20 degrees of stepping on the gas. And then on your exhale, it slowly comes back in. Push into your big toes to push your knees out. And then relax and let your legs come back in. One more, push down into the big toes, legs go out. And then exhale to relax and let them come back in. Loosen your belt so that your legs are now going to be hip distance apart. If you don't have a loop, then you're just going to have to tie it. Same idea, big toes land, pushing into the ground, push out into the belt about 20%. Inhale, let everything melt back in. Exhale, push it out. Inhale, relax. Exhale, push it out. Inhale, relax. Loosen the belt so that your legs are going to be a little wider than hip distance. Press down into the big toes. Inhale, push your legs out. Exhale, relax it in. I may have got the breath backwards. It doesn't matter. Inhale, push it out. Exhale, relax it back in. Inhale, push it out. Exhale, bring it, relax it back in. We're going to put the block in between our legs now. We're going to go the widest width, and then we'll go the medium, and then we'll go skinny. So you might have to readjust your belt again. And it can be helpful to actually tuck your block inside the belt, if that's possible for you. I hope this can show it. So the belt is actually right on the bottom of my block. And now we're going to push in. Inhale, try to push into your baby toes and then push your knees inwards. And then exhale, relax. Push inward and relax. And in again. And relax. Flip your block so it's in the medium width. Tighten up your belt. 3 rounds here. Pushing the baby toe side of the foot down as you push your block, your knees into the block. Exhale, relax. Inhale to push in. Exhale, relax. Don't forget that baby toe as you push in. And relax. And now go the skinny way. Tighten that belt again. Now the reason why we're going to the opposite side of the foot is it's going to help to activate muscles on the outside of the legs as we're also activating the muscles on the inside of the legs. Push down with the baby toes and then push into the block. Relax. Push in. Relax. And push in. And relax. All right, take a breath here. Now the next one, we're going to go in and out, and you can change your block if you want to, if you like the middle or the skinny, you can just leave it just as it is. So 3 rounds here. Ready? Inhale, push out. Exhale, push in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. And relax. Move your block, move your strap. Oh, grab your block again, put it in between your knees, and we're going for bridge. Inhale, exhale, lift your hips. Hold your hips up here. Keep that block secured, and then you're going to lift your heels. You're going to keep your hips up and lower your heels. And lift and lower 10 more times. 10, 9, 8, helping to strengthen the back of the body. 5, 4, back of the legs. 3, 2, and 1. And release your hips down. Let's take a couple of breaths there. Bring one knee into the chest, then the other. Crisscross your ankles. We're rocking up to seated. You can even roll over your feet if you can. We're coming to hands and knees. Go ahead, rock up to seated, and then keep going to hands and knees. All right, from neutral position, tuck your toes and back to downward facing dog. So in down dog, be aware of your weight distribution between your hands and your feet. Just keep that equal. And now for a little bit of strength building. Oh, before we do that, take your left hand off the ground and make a horseshoe shape with your hand and tuck it into that crease right where the leg and the hip meet. We want to think about that top part of the leg as going backwards. Put your left hand back down to the ground. Inhale, shift forward to the top of a push-up position. Exhale from the top of your legs, lift your hips up and back. And 2 more, go forward. Reach back from that hip crease, coming forward. It's really the strength of the legs that's lifting up your pelvis. Beautiful. Holding here. And then coming down to your knees, grab your blocks, and we're going to go on the middle height, and we're going to do that downward facing dog. I find with these blocks that are they're not really that great quality, so they got a lot kind of give to them. I kind of have to have the heel of my hand at the edge of the block so I don't feel like I'm going to be slippy. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and shift back, downward facing dog. So remembering that hip crease there, look forward. We're going to step the right foot forward, but at the same time, think about your right hip crease reaching backwards. Gaze to the top of the mat, step forward, and bring that right hip crease backwards. Like your knee is going forward and your hip crease is going backwards. And this is one place where often the hips get a little tilted. So we want to keep the back leg up as the front leg moves a little bit down. So nice and strong through the inner thighs. Now we're going back. Think about the left leg lifting you back into downward facing dog. Shift it back. Looking forward. Left hip crease moving back as you step your left foot forward. The knees going in one direction, the crease is going in another direction. Front leg comes a little down, back leg comes a little up. Everything is active. Both hips are fairly level. And then tap your right knee down to the ground. Walk your blocks back to you a little bit, so you're going to be in your, what do you call it, 90-90 proposal pose. There you go. Hands to the hips. We're going to step the left foot out to the side and straighten out the leg. Let your foot be flat. And then from here, inhale, arms out, shoulder height. Exhale, lean towards your left leg, reach up and over, grounding down through that right knee. Another big inhale. Exhale, back to upright torso. You can have a block to the other side, and then lean over to that right side, left arm over. And then a bit of leg strengthening. Lift up that left leg the best you can. Nice. Big inhale here. Exhale, put the foot back down. Put your left hand on your hip. Bring your left knee next to your right and sit for a little bit. We'll do the other side. Come up onto your knees. Step your right foot forward to proposal pose. Taking an inhale here. And then an exhale, step it out to the right. I have to move my things. Arms out, shoulder height. Leaning to that right leg, lift up and over. And then inhale, come back up, torso up. Grab one of your blocks, put it to the left side, and lean over. And then lift up that right leg the best you can. Right foot comes to the floor, right hand to the hip, right knee next to left knee, and sit down. Sweep your arms forward, make a big circle with your arms up and back. And then again, as you sweep them forward, coming up onto your shins, reaching up here again. Step your left foot forward. Taking a twist to the left, let the middle of the spine do that twisting. Keeping the hips pretty stable. Arms out, shoulder height. And then the hands can come down and rest. Take those arms straight up to the shoulder again. Lift them straight up. Look forward. Step your left knee back. Step your right foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right with the upper body. Hips are stable. Take your arms out, shoulder height. And then relax your arms, resting on the body. Arms come back to shoulder height, all the way up, and then facing forward. Hands to your hips, right knee next to left knee. And then sit yourself back down again. We're going to grab the bolster, sit down, and we're going to put it underneath us. So come on down. Get into a bridge pose to get your bolster up underneath you. Bring your right knee in and your left knee in. We're going to do some marching here. Flex your feet, let your right heel touch the ground and bring it back in, and left heel and in, and do a few more of those. And just really nice and controlled movements. If you're feeling like you can step your feet a little further out, go ahead and do that. No tilting or rocking at the hips. And then both knees back in again. Put a block in between your shins. Keep your feet flexed. We're going to go to side to side. You're not going to go all the way down. It's just a little tiny small movement over to the side, making it manageable, and coming straight back up and over to the other side and up, and two more on either side. Last one on either side. Stopping in the center, remove the block, left foot to the floor and right leg straight. You can keep that right foot flexed, and just notice if it feels okay for your low back. If you feel like you're really arching, maybe think about the top of the back of your pelvis pushing down into your bolster. Just allow the right front part of the leg to be open. And place your palm right at the hip bone, and like letting your heel of the hand go to the hip bone and your fingers pointing towards your toes. And just notice the spaciousness there. And then you're going to bring your right knee in and put the foot on the floor and try to keep that spaciousness, and then take the left leg out. And now nice and open on that left side. And then bend your left knee, put your foot on the floor. For a little bit of fun here, we're going to bring one knee into the chest, then the other. Hold on. We're going to rock and roll forward. You're going to roll right off your bolster. Kick your feet towards you and rock and roll yourself right off your bolster. All right. Okay. Now get back on that bolster, just on the very edge, and we'll take Baddha Konasana, cobbler pose, soles of the feet together, and knees go out to the side. Palms come together, and press your palms together and let your knees move out to the side, right and left. And inhale here, and then exhale, let your hands come to your shins. And if it's available for you to hinge forward at the hip, you can do that. We'll stay a few more breaths here. Start to bring your torso up, hands to the outside of the legs to help bring them back together. And then legs straight out, and then just slip yourself off your bolster again. But now we're going to shift the bolster so it'll be lengthwise for our spine, and get a block and put it underneath. Just give yourself a little bit of height there. And then get your bum close up to the bolster. You might want your other block for a pedal. See how it goes. And then slowly let your spine come down. And when you get there, just get a little more comfy and position your head so that you're not pointing your chin straight up. Put your hands behind your head, lift your head, tuck your chin in, and put your head back down. And then check to see, do I want to block for my head or not? You may be perfectly comfortable like that. You can keep your knees bent, or you can straighten your legs, or you can take that cobbler pose, Baddha Konasana. If you decide to take cobbler after a while, if it feels straining, then just go ahead and change your legs. And let go of all effort here. Start to deepen your breath here. If your legs are straight, put one foot on the floor and then the other. And then we're going to move over to the side. Try to stay on your pillow. And just curl in. Letting the head be really relaxed. Use both your hands to push you back up again. Come to your cross-legged position. You can sit on the bolster if you want to. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale to turn those palms up. Exhale to bring them together in front of the heart and bow your head to your heart to complete your practice. And lift your gaze. Namaste and thank you.